wonderful people. I think I've never seen you by yourself, Zach.
I know. I know. It's just like seeing Cheech or Chong by themselves. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, don't you have another half of your dynamic duo? This is like when I show up to parties without my girlfriend. They're like, where's Felisa? You know what I mean? It's okay. I'm a good compliment.
Are you silly or Billy? Which one are you?
So it's funny. People always assume I'm silly, but when Jank did the initial thing, he like made fun of Gavin's hair flip, and that was the silly character. And so our audience was like, Zach's Billy. He's got to be Billy. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll take whatever cards I'm dealt.
I like that. That's funny. I love that. Yo, my Vanguard mug is my I'm sick mug. I've been drinking tea out of it all week. I love it.
Yeah, how are you?
Are you sick too?
Huh?
Are you sick too?
Because I'm always sick. Listen.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Oh, I like that mug though, Lance.
My wife made this. This is
that's so nice.
Yeah, thank you.
That's so dope. Your wife can make mugs.
She just wanted to be a potter and started pottering, and it's actually decent.
That's actually so dope. Yeah. That's dope as shit. Yeah, no, you blessed me. How did you get COVID? How did that happen to you?
I went to a music festival.
Like you said it. You said it so much. You said so much shit. Why would you cross-examine me live? My bad, lads.
Yeah, we're not recording. This episode hasn't started, right? Like,
yeah, I'll edit that out.
No, I'm just joking. Go nuts. I don't care. I have no shame.
So the reason I brought y'all here today is to fill me in. I know that the girls are fighting, but I honestly, I don't be caring about nothing nowadays, but specifically like, in my mind, I'm like, what is this, just entertainment? Because what does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? But I also could just be hating because I don't know nothing. So please give me all the details though. I love the mess.
I mean, I think it's the moment we've all been waiting for and the moment we've all expected, right? To tee it off a little bit, and then I'll pass it to Lance. For people who haven't followed Trump's inner workings for the last 9 years or so, might not be familiar with the process he has, but there's a reason none of the people who got him to the dance originally are still part of his squad, right? So this dude, he always is a use him and abuse him kind of a guy, right? He's gonna take advantage of you and then toss you aside. That's the way that he is. He's a consumptive person. That's all he knows is this self-serving narcissism. So every single interaction, every single relationship that Trump has for his entire life, whether that is his wife, whether that is his closest confidants, whether that's his attorney, whoever it is, he is going to use you for as long as he feels like it's effective, and then he's going to cast you aside, and he's going to disparage you, and he's going to, say, nope, what I say goes, and move on from there, right? And Elon thought because he had more money than anybody else in the entire world that he was going to be able to play ball with Donald Trump, right? But that's not the case. He got the same treatment as Mike Pence. He's gotten the same treatment as Steve Bannon. He's gotten the same treatment as basically everybody throughout the entire line. So we knew this was all going to come to a head, and we were talking about it last night on air with Sam Cedar, and I thought he made a really great point that when Elon Musk was unable to deliver in Wisconsin, however many months ago, 2 months ago, that Donald Trump realized that was the moment when he no longer needed him anymore. He became disposable to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump fucked him on the new deal when it came to EVs, right? He was like, okay, we're going to get rid of the EV stuff that was going to be a massive handout to Elon Musk because he was like, I don't need you anymore. I don't care if I piss you off. And Elon had a meltdown because Tesla's stock is the way that his wealth is basically financed. His entire lifestyle comes from his, insane equity in Tesla. And as Tesla craters, so does his access to liquid capital, which sustains not just his lifestyle, but his fingerprints in every single process that's happening in Silicon Valley and all of these startups and whatnot, right? And so it all started hemorrhaging for him, and he's hanging on by a thread as it is. Twitter's losing money, Tesla's losing money, SpaceX never makes money. All of his ventures are losing money. And so he's like, what do? I'm pressing the nuke button. I'm being like, I'm going all out on Donald Trump now. Like, please accept me, liberals. Like, this guy's in the Epstein files. And so now their relationship is completely torn apart. But yeah.
Lance?
Yeah, good summary. I gotta be honest. I saw this all over the news for like months now, where they were like, behind the scenes things are bad. There's a lot of turmoil.
Yeah, I seen
People
that.
don't like him. I saw that, and that shit didn't do anything for me because I was just sitting there. I was like, I don't care. I want actual material. I want to see some shit. I want to see them like have full meltdowns. Spill tea, get ugly. I want to see like messy shit. And that was last night. Like that's why yesterday was the funnest day on Twitter outside of like Trump getting COVID, right? Where it was actually a pleasure to be on that website for a change instead of just being like nonstop horrors and stuff like that. And I know we're gonna get to the big reveal, which was not a reveal to anyone who's been, I guess, sentient for the last couple of years. Like I think every single person, if you're a liberal or a leftist, that Trump's all over the Epstein files, right? Like it's one of those weird things where Republicans love to use this as a oh fuck, I don't want to say Trump card, but anyways, as some kind of a card to play, and it's always like, oh, because Bill Clinton's all over there. It's like, yeah, Bill Clinton seems like a pedophile rapist. So does Trump. Like you can call them both out. You don't have to play favorites on this one. But I think this is the first time that it actually had an effect in that it created a schism. And it kind of made a lot of Republicans have to actually face the reality that many of them had been in a bubble for. Like, I think some of them just have willful denial of the whole Epstein stuff. But at this point, like, it was the first time yesterday where, like, whenever I would post stuff about Trump and Epstein, I would post, like, that story about how there was phone call logs that showed that every single time someone was registering to, like, abuse children, there was a Trump call log in between those call logs where kids were getting, booked for sexual abuse and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff's really bad. But the replies would always be, like, from Republicans, fake news, that never happened, not true. This is the first time I saw like a lot of Republicans, including Alex Jones, like lose their shit, just be like, oh God, like what have we done, kind of thing.
Yeah, it really flies in the face of his entire brand, right? They made their entire political ideology around we're going to hunt pedophiles. Oh my gosh, from Pizzagate on, right? It wasn't just the groomer rhetoric that they've decided to attach to LGBTQ people, right? But this goes back to Hillary Clinton when they were talking about, oh, Hillary Clinton's running a child predatory, sex ring out of a pizza shop, right? And that was a big thing that Alex Jones was on, and that was a big, 2016 primary scandal from back then, right? It's always been a thing that they've attached themselves to, and now they have their key figurehead, Donald Trump, all over it. And again, with Lance, there's nothing but denial, right? Another instance was Michael Wolff, the guy that wrote Fire and Fury, right? This guy gets great tea from within the Republican Party. He's a scumbag, but all the best press people are, right? The dude will get in there and he will expose stuff. And he has a call with Jeffrey Epstein. You can listen to the call between Michael Wolff and Jeffrey Epstein. And he talks about how Donald Trump was his best freaking friend. He was like, oh yeah, we go back together. Donald is one of my best friends. You cannot be best friends with Jeffrey Epstein and not be up to some crazy shit.
And that's it.
I guess I just don't believe the Republicans give a fuck. Like, I don't believe anything that the Republicans or the right says in good faith. No way. I can't. It has been such long common and public knowledge just how many people on the right are involved in all of the. We know it. Like, these are the people who want child sex. You know what I mean? Want children to be able to get married and XYZ. Like, we know what they are. So I don't believe any of it. So I don't believe it's any like level of them truly being like, oh my God, I'm seeing the light. Like, you've given me this information and now I believe it because otherwise I didn't before. I always think fake news and all of their insistence that they don't believe is true and it's not true to me is always just to gaslight us. It's not because they believe it or give a fuck. I don't think they give a flying fuck. Donald Trump has been found liable of all kind of sick shit. They don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care at all. I think what it more so is just the shock that Elon is doing this now in public and like, whoa. Like, I'm confused about the team seems fractured. They probably don't know, like, what is the leadership now? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what it is. The confusion, like, wait, what are we doing? What side am I on? What are we supposed to be saying now? Because so far these people have been working like in tangent. Elon has basically been the shadow president as far as a lot of us have been concerned. So I'm sure what it is confusion, which I share. Like, what was the lads? Were they going? So were Elon and Donald Trump going back and forth all day on Twitter? Like, why was it the best day on Twitter?
They weren't going back. Well, I mean, there was a little bit. Trump did make some statements on truth, but I don't know if you heard the stories about how at Mar-a-Lago, no one can stand the guy. Like, he's apparently the most annoying human in the world, and I believe that, right? Like, every time I see him or I hear him speak, I'm like, that's the dude at the party that you pass off to another friend if he tries to speak to you, because he's just so fucking annoying. And that's what they were all saying. And like, now finding out that he's like got this Hunter S. Thompson like little suitcase of drugs that he carries around, is like Molly and Coke and all this other stuff, and you can see like interviews from Elon Musk even like 2 years ago where he's speaking English. Like, he sounds like a CEO. He sounds like someone who knows what he's doing. And now it's like, legalize comedy, the meme, yeah. Right? So like, imagine that dude being at a dinner table Mar-a-Lago every day, where like the most important and powerful people in the US are sitting at the table, and he's just sitting there and be like, epic memes, bro. Like, that to me was like, there's a timeline on this. Like, there's only so long someone who's so unfunny and unlikable can be in the inner circle of the most powerful people in the world and still like want to command their obedience as well. Like, it's egos, right? Like, it's like Zach was saying, these are billionaires and billionaires. It's billionaire versus billionaire. They got like massive egos. So Elon operates like a 4chan thread, and that's exactly what he did last night. Like, there's any reasonable person, or like if you had a single person, like a board member of Tesla sitting down with him, they would have told him, don't do this. There is no material benefit to you going online and calling the president a pedophile and accusing him of being in the Epstein files. There's like, this will shave off like billions of dollars of stock value. This will start a rift and a war between two sides of the right. There's very little benefit from a like business perspective, let alone from a personal perspective. But, you know, he was like, fuck it. And then Elon Musk dropped his truth bomb, kept tweeting. He retweeted the video of Epstein and Trump dancing together from like 93 or 4 or wherever that came out. The other big thing is he announced that he wants to start his own party, a centrist party, which made me think Elon is grifting to the center now. And the world is going to let him, because, you know, the liberals have very short-term memories.
Andrew Yang was already out trying to, approach him.
And Rose, please, no.
Is that a real tweet? Kanye said.
It's a real tweet, but
it's a real tweet.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah. And the thing is, guys, I think what's really interesting about this is that Elon's arc kind of, in a weird way, reminds me of Kanye's arc, because I think that at some point, including recently with his interactions with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, right? You're allowed to be obnoxious. You're allowed to be crazy. You're allowed to be neurotic. You're allowed to be a pain in the ass. You're allowed to be incredibly difficult if your output sustains that. If it justifies that. Kanye put out, I'm sorry, some of the best music I've ever heard in my entire life. He's a horrible man, doesn't hit the same, whatever. But for a while, people were willing to put up with a lot of bad behavior from Kanye West because of how good his music was. Elon Musk had the same free ride. He gave Donald Trump $200 million. He was the richest man in the world. He financed Donald Trump, which is also something we didn't talk about. He came out on Twitter yesterday and was like, Donald Trump, you would have lost the election without me. I bought you that election. You would have won the Senate, but you would have lost the House and you would have lost the general election. So we have the richest man in the world coming out and confirming that our democracy is a sham and that he paid for the election results. Okay, and the reality is that now he's no longer the juice is no longer worth the squeeze for Elon, right? He already bought Trump that election. So what the fuck does Trump care? I have the keys to the castle now. I'm the president in my second term. If I want to run for a third term, I have to stack the Supreme Court. I have to do all kinds of crazy shit. I don't even need you for that. So sayonara, pal. I played you just like I played everyone else. But it's a real crazy conundrum now. You know what I mean? And now he's just all, ketamined out of his mind, just like Kanye. Now he's off in the wilderness, like tweeting up a storm.
But how funny is it that his flex was that he knowingly worked with and elected a pedophile to be the president? Like, that was his flex.
And I saw someone post a tweet from Candace Owens where she quote tweeted and basically said, like, if you knowingly knew this information and you got this person elected, like, I don't think this is, the flex you think it is, or something.
And brought your kid around him.
Yeah. They all, I guess I'm wondering, like, what is the point of all of this? Because what is the point of all of this? I want to believe, like, Elon Musk has some intention here. Like, what is that? What are we going for with this?
Oh, he already folded. It's already over. It was 24 hours. He's already replying to tweets like, you two should make up, and he's like, true.
Yeah,
like
he just threw a temper tantrum. I mean, and what's fucked up, what made me so mad, guys, I have a theory that, we were talking to Sam about this last night, and there's a certain number where his Tesla stock will fall to, and he defaults on all of his fucking loans, and this guy's world falls apart. There is a number where the value of that company is depreciated so badly.
Do you know what it is? Is it under 200?
I am speculating it's around $200 a share, which is why he started to shit his pants when it went around $240 a share, and they started doing the prices right on fucking, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the parking lot of the fucking White House. They're like, look at all these Tesla cars. How much do you think they cost? They're cheaper than you think. You know what I'm saying? It was ridiculous, and that was because they needed all those Trump MAGA stands to go out there and rush out and order those Teslas, because this is a crazy fact, guys. It's true. At that time, Ford Lightning, the all-electric Ford F-150 that you've never fucking heard of, was outselling Tesla in the United States market. So he was hurting really bad, and there was a likelihood that he was really getting close to approaching that, whatever it was. I think it's about $200 a share for Tesla that he borrowed against, and his life will be in ruins if that happens, right? And Tesla started to crater again while he was having this little hissy fit about Donald Trump. Now it's rebounded, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's still down on the year, but it's doing way better. I think it's at like 280 a share now, and on its way back up, because he's going to go suck Donald Trump's cock in front of the whole world. Donald Trump's going to lap it up, and that's exactly what's going to happen, because for Donald Trump, it's all about power and attention and media and spectacle, and for Elon Musk, it's all about his bottom line.
Olay,
298. Fuck.
Trump, that sucks. Trump truthed out, like when you're asking what material things will come from this or what could come from this. Trump did say something that was like the one of the best things I think he said in his second term was that we should be looking into all of the government subsidies that Tesla has been receiving, which I think is upwards of at this point like.
There's the man who had given that same man just full blanket run around the White House, fire everybody, get access to everything. Like, it's just so, they're just so full of shit. But proceed.
Well, I was just gonna say that's it. I don't think that's gonna happen. That's what Steve Bannon was asking for. Steve Bannon said that we need to. He was right away like we need to look into this illegal alien that is Elon Musk. We might need to deport him. We should investigate his drug use, which is like, oh sweet, leopards feast upon each other. But the tweet or the truth about actually calling into account the amount of money that he's been subsidized, that's a good thing, because it's good for, I think, the right to finally realize how the game works. Elon Musk isn't successful because he's a genius. He's successful because he's the king of welfare queens. Like, that guy has received more like funding from the government than most CEOs could ever dream.
$38 billion across all corporations. $38 billion.
I completely understand, and I do agree, and I want to let people enjoy things. I really do. I'm like, I want to let people enjoy things, but it feels like Elon Musk and Donald Trump are in bed together in plain sight, literally in the open. They have done work. Like, it's like, hey, let me throw a toy over there, like we're dogs, so you could go look over there. Meanwhile, it's like, potentially stolen election. like over here, right? Like, they said everything. It's like, oh, you see all those like subsidies they were giving? Right. But what about when he helped you steal the election is what he's talking about. Like, let's get back to that, right? Like, and it feels like such an intentional, like, reality TV level distraction. I think I think Chris Rock had a joke in his early stand-ups about how every time Bush would get into a war, he'd go to Michael Jackson and ask Michael Jackson to go commit a crime. So they all focus on Michael Jackson and the kids, and that's what this feels like. Like, hey, Epstein, Elon versus da-da-da. Meanwhile, it's like, you want to see the democracy crumbling behind them? Like, they're in the front, like, no, focus on us. It's WWE. That's what it feels like. WWE. Like, literally down to the kayfabe of it all. Like, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are just all, and that's why the Republicans are so confused, because they're all on the same side. It's just a game while they distract us from so much more fucked up shit. Like, they just banned, people from Haiti and all these different countries can't come, and it's like all the distraction is these jackasses arguing online and talking a bunch of shit.
No, Olay, that is brilliant, dead on, 100% analysis of what is happening. That is what our country has become, and I think that's what's so scary about it. Like, Donald Trump loves Vince McMahon. He made his wife the Secretary of Education. It is all kayfabe. It is all professional wrestling. There is no there anymore. Il Nepo Dad Orchestra, right? It's all an illusion, right? It's all made up. It's a fantasy that we have this big, smart government apparatus that's fucking there for us. You know what I mean? No, it's a bunch of rich guys printing money for themselves and doing crimes in public, and they're all shoving coke and ketamine up their fucking nose every single day, and it's crazy. And that's all that's happening.
That's literally it. And they're like, oh my God, he's on drugs. I'm like, I knew that. He was a rich white man.
I've been to enough parties to see that dude.
I'm like that was the least shocking. I was like, I can't even believe, like, when they start with this information, it just feels like people be screaming, the sky is blue, the sky is blue. Like that's what it feels like to me. They're like, Elon Musk is on drugs. I'm like, he be jumping, he be leaping when he goes to the podium. You ever seen a grown man jump unprovoked? Like, repeatedly, he's obviously on drugs. He's doing Nazi salutes and leaping and hugging grown men. Like he's obviously on drugs. He didn't need to tell me that. Like, oh, we found the drugs. I can see the drugs. What are you talking about? I know, crazy man, when I see him.
Yeah, to be fair and or balanced, I didn't know that he was pissing himself. I was like, that was the one story. I was like, that was a headliner. I think that, like, he's done so much ketamine, he's fucked up his kidneys. Hey, what up, CJ?
What up?
How's it going?
Thank you, baby.
It's good, my guy. Oh,
he's come to feed me.
that Vanguard guy, my guy.
Hey, what's up?
Love your content all the time.
Thank you.
He's seen him by himself, right?
Right. I was like,
Thanks.
Yeah.
And this is awesome. I wish I got delivery service.
Oh yeah, CJ love me. Yes, it is real nice. But you also have custom made mugs that you're drinking.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
As I drink from the delicious mugs.
Man,
so.
I'll tell you what I got yesterday. I got off the phone with Sam Cedar, and my girl's like, yeah, no, you did a great job. It's crazy how handsome Sam Cedar is. That guy has aged so well.
Sam Cedar is one of those, like, men that looks better as an old man. Like, he literally like an older man.
Hotter every year. I don't know how he does that.
1,000%. Like, Sam Cedar.
No, he's got that wine power. Right?
I'm going to have to second your girlfriend.
I'll third it.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, no, America's in dire straits. It really, it is. Like, it really fucking is, bro. Like, it's so bad. It's just, it's so bad, and it feels like it's so bad. There's so many things that are bad that no one wants to talk about any of them. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's just too many things. Everyone's like, you heard about the celebrity gossip? Anybody? What about new music? Like, I was just like, let's not look at that big burning bush over there.
There's a reason that
that's why I thought it was fun. I was really happy not to have to look at, like, you know, starving children, war crimes, child skeletons. It was like I got to just laugh at people melting down. I got to laugh at right wingers losing their shit, people picking sides. You know, I could see the schism happen right away. Like the Vivek Ramaswamy, Tim Pool, Tech Bro side, they were all Elon. So it was like Ian Miles Chong, then like the Charlie Kirk, the Laura Loomer, the Ben Shapiro's, they were the Candace Owens, they were all Donald Trump, right? Like that little splinter happened so quickly. I was just
all Death Eaters.
Yes.
Like at the end of the day, I'm like, they're all Death Eaters. They're Death Eaters with a slight difference of opinion about some, like, personal shit. Like, they have a personal
on Death Eater crime. I support Death Eater on Death Eater.
No, this is true. You are correct. My dad texted me, actually. My daddy texted me to tell me, hold on, let me read it so my daddy's opinion gets some air. My dad said to me, he said, remember I predicted what is happening between Trump and Musk? He said, 1, friendship with Trump is only one way. That man is loyal to no one and cares about no one. He will eat and spit you out. He destroys everything he touches and everything who gets close to him eventually. His own mother said so. Ask Rudy Giuliani and all the members of the first cabinet. Where are they today? Their stars fade while his shines brighter. 2, a wise businessman should keep his distance from politics and politicians. It is a rule I live by. Politics is a really dirty game, and most politicians are opportunists. They will use and discard you when they no longer, to what Zach was saying, they no longer have use for you. Business is too, but nothing like politics. 3, a fish only gets caught when it opens its mouth. A businessman should keep his mouth shut, stay away from the spotlight, and never be too publicly vocal. Musk broke that golden rule, and he's already paying a steep price for that, and he will pay a lot more. I know some people would say, but it worked for Trump. Trump has never been a true businessman. He is a con man, a carnival baker. Mind you, Musk is a real bastard in his own right. I think his initial attraction to Trump was largely and primarily motivated by extreme greed, cruelty, wanton callousness, and an unadulterated racism. Yeah, he's a two prominent guys with huge egos cannot remain loyal to each other for long. That is the short of my
Get your dad on the podcast. What's he doing? What's he doing? Why'd you invite me on the show? Get your old man in here.
It's more eloquent than either of us will ever be.
I mean, tell him my daddy. My daddy has such an appreciation for me growing the platform because he's always like, I tweet all the time. No one ever engages. So my daddy, and I'd be like, Daddy, just go change your ad to Miss Olurinnati's daddy. Like, like just to my dad, like Miss Olurinnati's dad. He's like, no, they will not ride off my daughter's. I'm like, Daddy, just do it.
Yeah, take that clout. Is that still nepotism? Does it count in the other direction? Can you be a Nepo Daddy?
That's so funny, right? Yes. You can be, have to be Mama D from Love and Hip Hop, all the moms of everybody. Like Mama Joyce, I'm thinking of every celebrity mom that we've ever, like, shoots. Kris Jenner. They're all, you know what I mean? Even though she made them. She made the clout for her kids so she could also have it too. All right, smart.
Yeah, my dad just says things like "fuck Trump." That's it. I don't get like an essay that's annotated with like different paragraphs.
Oh yeah, no. I cut it short for y'all. There was a C more. My daddy is locked into politics, and he's like, he did tell me, just like I told him, like when my daddy called me. When I told him that nothing would ever come of those like charges for Donald Trump, I was like, Daddy, watch. Well, I was like, yeah, they'll convict him. The man ain't gonna do no jail time. He can go right there, be president again. My daddy said, I see. I'm like, this ain't nothing but theater to distract you. Like, yeah, we're holding him accountable. No, they're not. Nothing's happening.
What's crazy is that other countries will see shit like this and actually do something about it. Marine Le Pen, I think, is a great example. She was the forefront of the French neo-Nazi, National Front movement. She ran against Emmanuel Macron a bunch of times. If anybody in your audience follows French politics, they'll be super familiar with her. You probably aren't familiar with her if you don't follow French politics. But she was engaged in a massive fraud. We all know Donald Trump is guilty of tons of fraud. That's not even up for debate, not even up for discussion at all. She was guilty of a fraction of the fraud that Donald Trump was guilty of, and she was barred from seeking re-election. She was barred from running for election, not permanently because they didn't feel like the charges warranted it, but for 2.5 years, and she was going to have to sit out the next presidential cycle against Emmanuel Macron, right? It was huge news in France. People in the right wing were pissed about it, and do you know what the EU said? Fuck you, tough noodles. She broke the law. I'm sorry, we have a law, and if you want to be the fucking leader of France, you have to follow it. Okay, now we could talk about how Emmanuel Macron sticks his nose in everything he shouldn't, but was just caught with like an 8-ball on a train in a really public, humiliating fashion. So he's no model citizen either. I wouldn't be opposed to putting him up and charging him the way they would charge.
Was true?
Oh, dude, it looked.
I thought it was like speculated.
Yeah,
it was speculated, but he looked like he had an 8-ball. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert.
Yeah. That's funny.
America, there is no accountability for America because America is a America is a vengeful, warish, just like place. It just is. America is a place like, I'm gonna fucking put an embassy in your country. I'm gonna do this. These gonna be real. America does not play by any rules. America only pretends to humor shit for like a period of time, and even then they be like, behind the scenes, I'm gonna be up to some shit. I'm gonna derail all. And you know who America is? Y'all watch The Wire?
Yeah, I've seen it, but not the whole thing.
Okay, get your life together. When they create, when Stringer and Prop Joe try to have the co-op, when Stringer and Prop Joe and everybody agrees to a co-op so business could be fair, America is Marlo. Like, that's who America is. Marlo Stanfield. Like, okay. Yeah, let's do this together. I'm gonna kill all these motherfuckers. I'm gonna kill everybody. I'm gonna take over all this shit. And like right now, we are literally in a regime, and I feel like people are not taking. I can't even stomach people calling it an administration. It's a fucking regime. It has no regard for, there are no more checks and balances. Like, yeah, you see the federal government doing everything, like, not the federal government, you see these federal judges trying to do things like here and there, whatever stuff. None of that. By the time it gets to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is literally looking to, they had oral hearings on the birthright citizenship, and the way they're gonna try to rule on that is by not on the birthright citizenship question, but on the question of whether or not these federal judges can even issue these injunctions to Donald Trump's like executive orders at all, and make it so everybody would have to sue on an individual level. So it's a wrap. It's done. So like, he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants. Like, we can't even keep up with how much shit is being unraveled in real time to be. I'm like, shit is so bad, and I feel like people are not really processing how fucking bad it is. It's just so bad, and they're like, oh, look at here, little monkeys, watch this. like, let me give you a little. That's what it feels like. I am like, oh my god, like, look how this is. Look at these times that we are in. And
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that can happen to Elon Musk now that undoes anything of the larger. You know what I mean? Like, what if Elon and Trump stop being besties? Like, what then? Anybody, like, they gonna bring back from like Guantanamo? Like, are we, like, who we gonna do?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Lance.
Oh, I was well, I mean, I don't disagree with any part of that. I was also going to ask, they haven't sentenced Trump yet, right? Just not that matters. Like, I don't think he'll.
I feel like they stopped it, right? They put a pause to it. They come up with, I can't remember. Yeah, they're not doing that shit. Nothing was ever gonna happen to that man. America is the joke.
Well, what you were talking about is a strategy that they've said out loud that they're doing. Steve Bannon called it flood the zone, right? You just overwhelm everybody with story after story, and they can't pay attention to any one. This week, people should have been talking about Palantir. People should have been talking about AI software systems that are being used now, and they're going to be implemented in the U.S. to track everything you do, everything from every social media post you've ever done to forums, boards, discords, that kind of stuff. This is like one of the most frightening dystopian Black Mirror style AI system public monitoring of the citizens that has been done in the recent era, maybe in the U.S. since the Patriot Act. And so that's like, that should have been a story people were talking about. But like you said, instead, you just can't look away when you see the fireworks or you see all this fucked up stuff. Or like you were saying, the fact that I don't think a lot of people even know that there's a new travel ban for a whole bunch. It's like the Muslim ban too, except it included some countries that aren't majority Muslim but are still countries that Donald Trump has clearly got a racist agenda against, like Haiti and stuff like that. Yep. No one's talking about that either. Like, some people don't even know about it.
The Haitian stuff that's happening is uniquely vindictive, and I feel like it really recalls back to the JD Vance stuff. They're eating the dogs, they're eating whatever. My sister works in Boston for Ruti Louis-Jean, and she does a ton of work with the Haitian diaspora. Boston has the third largest Haitian diaspora in America, and dude, people are fucking scared, man. It's a disaster. It's something that I hear about, and it'll break your fucking heart. My sister's good friend is Haitian. She's in America on a temporary work visa. She's just had a baby. While she was pregnant, her husband was granted the ability to come and move to America with her so that he could be there for the birth of the child. Donald Trump fucking denied that, so now he's no longer able to be here to see the birth. And it's happening, to a scale of like 1,000, right? Like, it's unimaginable human grief that people are experiencing on a real level. Like, imagine, we talk about Mahmoud Khalil. He was also forced to miss the birth of his child. It's punitive in a way that's supposed to like deny people basic humanity, basic fundamental pillars of your life, the birth of your child, right? It's supposed to be cruel. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the one thing that we have to remind ourselves, and that's how we have to energize ourselves. And that Palantir shit is really fucked up. I was just beefing with Rokana about that on Twitter, because this dude is making a fortune off of Palantir as he's cuddling up to Elon Musk, as he's saying, oh, we need to try and poach him after he's fighting with Donald Trump. This man is out here saying that he's a voice for the working class. He is making money off of Palantir as they collaborate with ICE and black bag Americans as they do Gestapo-style tactics. And he wants to come out here and pretend that he's a voice of the people, that he's some progressive leader. He's a freaking fraud. And when he responded to me on Twitter, he blamed his wife like a fucking coward. So I was boiling this morning. I can't imagine what kind of a man takes a political question and obfuscates to his fucking wife. I was like, I don't even know how to respond to that, because it feels disrespectful to me to talk about your wife. Like, how the hell are you going to do that? Like, I'm going to have to cross this insane boundary with you because you brought up your own freaking wife? Are you kidding me?
I'm checking to see. I'm like, Rokana, I think that was my, like, the person who gave the speech at my law school graduation. Let me Google.
Oh, gosh,
Maybe
yeah.
he's someone who likes to play fast and loose with progressives and always act as if he cares deeply about a lot of these issues. But like, Zach was right to call him out, because it's like even his excuse sucks. I saw that fight the two of you were having. I was actually surprised he responds to
Bro, he followed me on Twitter. He said he would come on our show, and then he found out what we wanted to fucking talk to him about, which was his massive Palantir holding, and he wouldn't fucking come on. So now he gave us this lazy response on Twitter. Pissed me off.
But you can't be like, I married into this. Okay, can you ask her to divest from Palantir stocks then? I don't know.
Okay, so fill me in. What is Palantir? Tell me what this is.
It's like Peter Thiel's corporation to try and privatize government, basically, and one of the ways
Palantir is an AI software system that is used to do a variety of war crimes in Gaza on the behalf of Israel. That's where Gaza is actually a testing ground for a lot of the U.S. military equipment and systems. They've successfully been using it there to commit war crimes. They want to implement a system here, and I can pull up the list of things that it's going to do. Their proposal is effectively to use AI to scour the totality of every single American citizen's internet use in all capacities. It'll have the ability to find out every post you've ever made in every forum, every Discord, every Reddit, everywhere, and then it uses its algorithmic system to determine how much of an extremist you might be based on their criteria. How much do you contemplate unaliving yourself? How much do you talk about issues of foreign interests, all that kind of stuff, and then it's going to calculate that and let them use it to be able to just basically turn the ice into like not just a part-time Gestapo, but a full-time Gestapo. It's as horrifying as you could possibly imagine. It needs a lot of noise and people to fight against it. And again, it's one of those things where, like, Zach's right. There is no world in which anyone who considers themselves progressive or liberal or anything has investment stock in that company. Like, you like, do you have investment stock in
his wife has stock
weapons
in
manufacturers?
Well, here's what he says. It's published in Congressional Stock Trading as Rokada stock trades, right? Because however his financial agreements with his wife, they share that money.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has to report it. He has to report all of the trades, and when he reports those trades, they say Representative Rokana on them. So I want to make that clear to everyone else. He says it's in a blind index fund. Okay, that man beat the S&P 500 by almost double last year. Okay, I can't wait to see his financial disclosures from this year, because he had a hell of a run this last year, and I bet he beats it this year. The dude, when he publicly declared in 2017 his income, maximum it could have been was $45 million. This dude has benefited from every single massive upward transfer of wealth since he's been in Congress, okay? And he's voted for a lot of shady shit. He missed a convenient vote that would have been really detrimental to Elon Musk, and then chewed out a Politico writer that exposed him for it and tried to get her fired. Bunch of bad behavior whenever you fly too close to the sun when it comes to this Palantir thing. And one of the other things that it drives me nuts about it is because it sets the table for so much. It sets the table for so much. If you read about Peter Thiel and you know about his blind ambition, this is all the training ground for his future projects. He wants to gather all of this data so that he can train AI to do my job, your job, everybody's job. And they have this toxic vision in Silicon Valley that the only job that's going to be left is going to be Silicon Valley, right? Oh, if you're going to have to be a venture capitalist, or there's not going to be anybody else that's the only job that'll survive. And so they want to be able to, do Doge cuts and not bring anybody back, and instead implement AI software. And they'll say we have to do it to compete with China, whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you didn't know, like, it's not. I don't think Palantir is the one that developed this, but one of the systems that Israel uses is a AI system called Daddy's Home. And what the AI system does is it tracks when Palestinians' families are together inside of their bedrooms and their apartments, so that when they strike one of those buildings, they can have maximum casualty and death. So these same AI systems that are being used for war crimes, again, it's the stuff that Black Mirror wishes they could talk about, right? It's so much more dystopian. These same kind of systems they want to implement here. Well, I mean, I'm a Canadian, but we're going to get these things soon in America. And that to me is just like, this will be a line that you can't come back from, right? Because, it's not something that the Democrats in their right mind, like, as soon as people start saying this is about law and order, this is about making sure we track illegal immigrants, making sure we track terrorists. Well, how do you determine what a terrorist is? If I've tweeted Free Palestine one day on my social media account, does that make me a terrorist? If Zach said from the river to the sea at a party, and that's on a video that someone was recording on their phone, and that's on social media, is he a terrorist? You know, half the things that you've made videos about, does that make you a terrorist? They get to pick that.
Oh, you see what I said? You see I said as a regime? You see why I said we all should focus on Elon Musk and Donald Trump's reality show? And you see what you don't hear about? Because I ain't never heard about that shit. And also, I did confirm Ro Khanna is who spoke at my law school graduation.
Here's the thing about Ro, because I did dog on him really hard right there, and I want to be fair and I want to be professional because I know you have an audience of smart people. Ro Khanna has done good things. He has passed good legislation. The problem for me is that I think he's a little bit of a two-faced bastard, okay? And I think he deals to himself from the bottom of the deck by getting all the flowers of being a progressive hero. Imagine making $100 million for your wife while getting all the laurels and press of being such a good guy. I'm Bernie Sanders' campaign co-chair. And he has done really important things, like he had a bipartisan legislation with another guy who is 99 times out of 100 scum, Rand Paul in Kentucky, right? And during Donald Trump's first term, they led a bipartisan effort to end the U.S. complicity in Saudi Arabia's genocide in Yemen, right? And it was actually so effective that it passed in the very broken Congress and Senate of Donald Trump's first term, if anybody remembers that. Donald Trump got it on his desk and vetoed it. He vetoed it. He said, no, fuck no, I'm not risking my relationship with the Saudis. They pay me so much money, they can go on and do whatever genocide they want in Yemen. Okay, so Ro Khanna has stood up for the right things at times, but the blatant, bold-faced hypocrisy, blaming his wife instead of being honest about the fact that he's profiting off of some of the worst people on planet Earth, and he cuddles up to them. David Sachs, he did a fundraiser at David Sachs' house, guys. He's in bed with really, really bad people, which I think, compromises your progressive bona fides.
Where do y'all get y'all news? Like, where do y'all, and y'all be in every politician's business, like, where exactly do y'all, like where are y'all acquiring all this information? Please tell me.
I highly recommend Democracy Now! Go to democracynow.org and go fund it, support it. Give Amy Goodman your money. She's a legend. She deserves more views and more support because they're doing real journalism. I'm just a clown on the internet. I can't speak for Zach, but...
I'm also a clown on the internet. Don't kid yourself, but... I think what it really boils down to is like, do you obsess over this, right? Is this your whole fucking life? And that's the one thing that I always come back to, right? Like, this isn't a hat that you take off. It's like, if you followed this every single, and you're a lawyer, you've done all kinds of stuff. If we've had a conversation about, law or whatever, you would probably be able to wax like fucking forever because that's what you put your mind to. I think what this really is that this is our fucking job, right? Like, I do try and take my job seriously, even though I'm a bit of a knucklehead on the internet, right? And I read the news every single fucking day, pretty much every source I can get my hands on.
Okay, so no, you have no lives. That's what I heard.
That's the real answer. Yeah, this guy's on the spectrum. He's a little.
I think my parents. I'm pretty sure both my parents love Ro Khanna because at my law school graduation they were fangirling out that he was there talking. That's how come I remember. Like, because I really don't remember really being able to see the table, like see the stage. I just know my parents were hype. like ooh, like my parents.
To be fair to Zach, though, what he's saying is that like he's not the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
I
know. Yeah.
He's done a lot of good shit.
He's done a lot of good, but he's doing something really fucked up right now.
And we got to hold people to a higher standard if they're going to be using this whole progressive label and pretending to be, voices for the people. You can't be a voice for the people and also be in bed with some of these really evil big tech companies right now when they're trying to basically transform society. And they're getting away with it. Like, no one is holding these ghouls accountable. You saw the picture of that guy. Doesn't he look like if you looked up what, like, evil genius nerd tries to destroy society? Wouldn't that photo just pop up like first thing? You wouldn't even have to Google image it. That like. I heard an interview with Sam Cedar talking to a guy who studied all of these big tech bros. All of the reasons they think this way from Peter Thiel onward is because they didn't understand the science fiction books they loved when they were kids, including things like Dune. Like they read Dune and thought it wasn't actually supposed to be an allegory to U.S. imperialism and oil excavation.
They never get it. They're never in on the joke. That's why they don't get like King of the Hill. They don't get the boys. They're fat fans of Homelander. Like they don't fucking get it. They don't see it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like Homelander's cool, right? He's based. Is that what you say? Based?
Like they never get it.
Nazi. Like Jesus Christ.
Right? They don't get it at all. They're like, oh yeah, like obviously this is the coolest person on the show. Yeah, we feel it.
He shoots lasers from his eyes. What's not to love?
They're dumb. They're dumb. They don't get South Park either. That's why I also love them some South Park. I'm like, they never get a satirical
They
criticism.
like half because South Park's libertarian. They like half of it and hate the other half. You know?
Is that what South Park is? That what the South Park creators identify as libertarians?
Matt Stone and Trey Parker are libertarians.
Heartbreaking. They could have been our strongest allies, but they folded on a couple of key things.
To be fair to them and or balance, they actually have reversed course on some of the takes they had that they admitted were terribly wrong, like climate change, like the whole man bear pig thing and climate change being fake and Al Gore. Afterwards, they've come out and been like, yeah, we were totally wrong on that one. That was foolish. So, our bad.
I love how much you care about climate, environmental things. It's like whenever you go to like defend somebody, like go give good news, it's always like environmentally related, and I'm always like, look at you thinking that'll help them in the grand scheme.
It's that or science. I'll usually, if I want to share good news, I'll be like, hey, amazing news. They just found out some new, transformative thing about the HIV virus that'll make a vaccine possible and all that stuff. I'm like, that's good news. Science is cool.
You know who you are? Did you watch How I Met Your Mother?
No.
Oh, I watched it. Who is he?
Thank you. Like, what's the point of you being white? Come on, you're not gonna watch white people's best. Like, that's so crazy. And like, Marshall is obsessed with the environment, and when Marshall's like telling him all the environment stuff, everyone's like, okay, we love that for you, Marshall. That's you, Lance. Also, you have to watch How I Met Your Mother. It's so good.
Honestly, it's a pretty good just laugh track sitcom. I will be real. I watched it all when I was 14. I thought it was pretty good.
I'm a How I Met Your Mother stan.
It's good, smoke and chill kind of TV. Lance, I gotta know about your skincare routine, dude. You're glowing today.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Abbott Elementary is great. Yeah. See, Chico.
He's just chilling in the corner there.
Yeah, no, you gotta watch How I Met Your Mother. I love it. It's one of my faves.
Yeah.
It never gets bad. I think, you know what I don't like that everybody loves? I don't like The Office.
What?
I know. It's so unpopular. I know.
Oh, come on.
When was what, 3 seasons, 4 seasons decent, then it just totally drives off a cliff.
Those first 4 seasons, legendary.
CJ be trying. I'm telling you, so many people have tried to get me into it. Like, I've seen it. And I just be there like, I don't know. I don't feel it. I don't feel it none. Like, I be there like, I'm feeling like I'm suffering too, because like once people start playing it, they love it. They're not turning it off. I'm like, fuck. CJ be like looking at me like, and I'm like, like, okay, please spare me. I can watch though. I don't want to watch The Office, but I will watch YouTubers talk about The Office. But I don't want to watch the show.
Does CJ like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I think so too. I think he likes. I don't like any of those shows. Like It's Always Sunny, Community, Office, all of them like quirky mockumentary type things. Keep it. Like I don't fucking want it. I hate them all. I don't get it. I'm like, okay.
Most of them suck. I'll give you that. I'll give you most of them suck. Fuck Parks and Rec. I don't like Community, but The Office, trailblazing, effective comedy. Always Sunny is goated too.
Yeah. I like that they're like miserable, like they seem like mean and It's Always Sunny. That's funnier. Like I appreciate that. Like I like the meanness of it. They also did a crossover episode, I think, with Abbott Elementary, the Stopes. So
yeah, that's coming out. I haven't seen it yet.
I appreciate them. I don't think they're bad. Like notice I'm not like they suck, they're overrated. I'm not saying that. No, it's just like one of those things where I'm like, I realize that style of thing just doesn't appeal to me. That's why like Abbott Elementary is an exception. Like I'm like, oh okay, I'm surprised I like this because I generally mockumentaries and stuff type like that, I'd be like, something about this, I don't know what it is. Like I wish I could articulate what the problem is. Like,
is it the cringe? Do you not like the cringe?
I think I'm very vibed, like I like vibes, like the kind of space you create. Like I think I like.
And those vibes are terrible. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I don't want to be here. I don't want to be a part of this. Like this is that's what even makes like when I was I had brought up HBO's Girls before this. Like that's why Girls can never be as like iconic as Sex and the City and all of those other ones and stuff, is because the vibe of it is one that is miserable. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to, go home and be like, woo, let me see Hannah want to die and Marnie and Jessa be going, woo, really be going fucking through it. Wouldn't you like to see a nervous fucking breakdown? Like someone have to be hospitalized? Like, right? Like, no. And versus like I got an office, it's like, good God, this is, Can you imagine to see a job in your life? Like, I'm getting tired just like, going to this job every day with this fucking stupid ass boss talking fucking shit. Like, I'm over here like.
Did you watch the British one or just the American one?
Just the American one, but I know that it was based on the British one, but I wasn't interested.
Fuck the
Although
Brits,
I do
right?
like
Who
a couple of
fucking
little
needs
British shows. There's a British show named Lovesick that's on Netflix that I love, and there's another one called. It was with Rupert Grint was in it. It was called, I think, Sick Note. I think it was called something like that, Sick Note, and that was good.
Oh, that's based on an anime, right? Or no, that's Death Note. I'm
That's
thinking
Death
of Death
Note.
Note.
That's Death
Yeah,
Note.
yeah.
Death Note. I like Death Note was great until they introduced that gal. Like,
I
and they
haven't seen
ruined
it
it. Yeah, okay. I recently started watching Death Note, and then it started off so good, like so feeling like so intelligent, and then I realized like, oh, this is incel bullshit. I got you. I guess I was like, okay, I see where we've gone with this. I was like, let me just go ahead and. I was like, you almost had me. I was thinking this was some intelligent shit, but I see now that you don't want to make any fucking sense. I got you. Yeah.
Olay, one of the things I wanted to ask you while we're all on this, because you live in New York, and I've been talking a lot on air with Gavin about the New York mayoral race, obviously the Andrew Cuomo drama, the debate that happened. Does that give you any hope? We talked a lot about bad vibes, you know what I mean? And I feel like it has to at least be somewhat reassuring, somewhat inspiring, I hope, to, see the Zoran thing happening in your own community. Because I've been stoked to watch it from afar. I think Zoran's an incredible guy. I got to interview him once when he was running for New York State Assembly. Really grateful that he took the time to talk to us. He did the taxi medallion strike. He's done, a bunch of work. I know you're also, you have positive feelings towards some of the other candidates. Like, what are your thoughts on all that?
I'm putting out, so I interviewed Zoran and I interviewed Brad Lander, and I'm putting out my video next week on Olurinnati politics with my thought, but incorporating my interviews and my thoughts on the race. Zoran is my number one. Brad Lander is my number two. I think Zoran is great. I think he's really excellent. Like I interviewed him and he was so impressive. He's so good. He's so great. He's ran an amazing campaign. But has America not showed us how we feel about far more qualified people of color? Like, we're in the middle of a regime. I refuse to. I will not let another motherfucker and your positive bullshit get me fucked up again. Keep it. You see, I will not let y'all play me again, okay? These people don't care about. Listen, let me tell you what I hope to happen. I hope that we get Zoran. I think it is possible that we get Zoran. I think Zoran ran an amazing campaign, that this Muslim brown man is even like the front runner behind Cuomo in these times. That is a testament to what an excellent fucking campaign he ran. Like, without previous name recognition, he's run an amazing campaign. But this is America and this is New York City that loves to elect a terrible mayor. And New York City loves a fucking horrible mayor. I believe New Yorkers love it's such a New Yorker pastime to shit on the mayor that you need a shitty mayor to be able to just shit on the mayor 24. That must be what it is psychologically. Because the name recognition of Cuomo, the money machine behind Cuomo. The Cuomo PR machine, that Cuomo PR machine goes crazy. It's a sick bitch.
Yeah, how does it hit on the ground in New York? Because I feel like it's it's like something that people outside of New York City can't comprehend. Because to me, it just seems so weird.
I'll put it to you this way. Black people in my audience, black New Yorkers who trust my opinion on New York City politics, who feel largely the way I feel about Eric Adams and all this other landscape, will still respond to me and be like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I hope Cuomo wins. They don't, they have a previous, I talked about this in my Cuomo Olurinnati production I did, there is a previous apparatus that has Cuomo people take for granted what during that pandemic time of Chris Cuomo trotting him out on CNN as America's sweetheart while people were in their homes and convincing them this is the governor, this is the one you could trust, this one's so great, this one cares, when people were feeling we really don't appreciate just how much fucking PR was done for Cuomo. On top of the fact that Cuomo is a legacy family, like they are all of them. The man daddy was governor before him. You know, this is a whole. They are a. This is. Cuomo is not no small. He is not no small fry. You know what I mean? Like Cuomo has so much working to put him in there. Like he actually just got like fined the other day for, you know, illegally doing something with campaign funds or some mismatching, some nonsense or whatever. He does fucked up shit all the time, and they just cover it up. They don't talk about it. They just dodge it. Cuomo was found credibly to have sexually harassed 11 different people. Most New Yorkers don't even know it. He resigned, and most people don't know why. They don't even.
He resigned in disgrace. That's the part I don't get. Like,
exactly.
It was things here in Canada.
Because his PR buries that. If you even look at like Cuomo's Wikipedia page and you see how much energy is put into like whatever little things they think make him look good, and almost nothing is said about the many scandals that led to his resignation. If you go and you Google Cuomo has a PR machine working to make sure most people do not learn about these things. The things that we know about Andrew Cuomo, the only thing they know is that they know the name. They don't know these other people. Like, oh, Cuomo, I know him. I remember, you know what I mean? He seemed like nice enough. I seen him on Chris Cuomo. Oh, his brother's cute. You know what I mean? That's how people operate, and it's unfortunate. The reality is most people do not look into these politicians until they're already fucking up their lives. So they're already in power. I guarantee what I expect to happen, I hope it doesn't happen. I would love to be wrong, but I've already, after this last election, that's the last time I stopped saying my good common sense, you know what I mean, thought process and what's going to happen in favor of people wanting me to spew optimism. What I expect to happen is that Cuomo will win. He will fucking start tearing up. He will start doing terrible things. And then within two to 3 months of him being mayor, everyone is going to hate Cuomo. The whole landscape is going to be about hating Cuomo. We could have had Zorn. That's what it's going to be. Just like they elected Eric Adams. They're like, we could have had Mayo. This is a thing. This is like, so I won't be played again. Zorn could win. I want him to win. I'm not banking on it.
Yeah, I still feel guilty, Olay, because I remember the day after the election, maybe a few days after the election, you had a long post, and you were like, I'm never going to let any white motherfuckers in my life convince me this. I was like, I just 2 days ago looked Olay in the face and was like, you're crazy. People aren't realizing not all the time.
I'm just like, you know, you be wanting, I think I'm always trying to make sure that I'm not being arrogant. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always trying to, okay, maybe I need to take a step back. Maybe other people think a thing. Maybe you are too stuck on you. You know what I mean? And I feel like every single time I do that, egg on my face. I'm like, I was right, and I should have never listened to nobody. I was like, that's literally. I'm like, now I look like a stupid bitch. I'm like, here shocked that Donald Trump won when I knew good and goddamn well. Like everybody, I think you're being too pessimistic. America isn't as racist and as sexist as you think. Oh, okay. You tell me. I'm like, look here. In this incredibly, Zorn is so amazing. I really want him to win, and that's why I'm like, I'm gonna put out the video. I'm gonna go do the legwork of posting all the clips and XYZ whatever for Zorn and stuff, and that's why I did the Cuomo production in the first place. I want him to win, but the way I was shocked he even became like the front runner. I'm even like impressed by that. Like the fact that he ended up like shooting past, you know, Brad and all these other more established politicians or whose names you know, especially in a time that is so incredibly I mean, could it be a more prejudiced time? Like it had to be fucking 2001. You know what I mean? For more prejudiced times towards a person like Zorn, and yet he's that amazing. Like he's genuinely offering us so many things we need. Like he had, I'm very partial to Brad Lander. I really like Brad Lander because he has a demonstrated, you know, track record in as comptroller of New York City. He's done a lot of amazing things. I interviewed him too, and his interview was great. But my interview with Zorn was better. The man's really fucking impressive. I was like, and I said that as somebody who wanted to be like in my mind, like, oh, I think I like, you know, I would have been inclined to like a Brad better because I know Brad, right? You know what I mean? I know Brad is Brad is the reason we know about Eric Adams doing stop and frisk and all these different things. That's who's like made a lot of that information available to us. I quoted Brad Lander several times in my Breakfast Club interview. So I really like Brad. But Zorn was so impressive when I interviewed him. I'm like, he just has a different, he understands the largest of the problems. You know what I mean? I feel like he's really trying to go that extra mile And I was just really impressed by him. So I want him to win. I want him to win. I have it in my like agenda to spend the next week just doing nothing but like that, sharing these clips and agenda or whatever, and trying to promote him and Brad and who I'm going to rank as my 3, 4, and 5. Which, speaking of, this is a good time to say Jessica Ramos. Did you see Jessica Ramos came out and like endorsed Cuomo?
And then he threw her under the bus and was
Cuomo
like,
didn't
she
endorse her
endorsed me.
back.
I did not endorse her.
Yeah.
I am so I'm ashamed of her. Like doing that. I think I haven't said much about Jessica Ramos the entire election season, and I really won't, because we follow each other. She's done good things. Like I don't know her to be like a bad politician or anything like that, or like it's not that her platform isn't progressive. But I had gotten wind when she first came into the race, like what I'd been made aware of, like behind the scenes on like kind of like political ground of New York City, was that she really didn't want to be associated with the left in her race, you know what I mean? So that was the impression, that was what I knew to be the case, and I saw it, you know what I mean, and how she ran her campaign. Notice she didn't reach out to these kinds of, you know what I mean, voices, the majority, she didn't go to those, like, so I recognized that was the case, and so for that reason I was already, you know, off her. My kindness was to just not mention her at all, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say anything negative about you, and I'm like, it's just shameless. It's just shameless. Like how much so many of these politicians care about. She's someone, I see everybody showing the tweets and stuff and what her original statements were about Cuomo, and her talking about, actually, I'll tell you exactly what she said about Cuomo literally just weeks ago. I mean, I saved it. She said, boom. On March. In March, she made this statement. Hard pass on Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, for finally launching your Vanity Comeback Tour. Now we can go back to discussing the issues that matter to New Yorkers, like fixing the housing crisis you stoked, cleaning the streets you ignored, and making New York City affordable for working families once again. If New Yorkers want a corrupt bully with a record of alleged sexual misconduct, supporting Republicans, selling out to developers, and exacerbating crises, they can just stick with their current mayor. Andrew brings nothing to this race but baggage and an outstanding debt of $5 million. Hard pass. But if Andrew wants a tour around the city, please don't hesitate to call. A lot has changed in the 25 years since he last lived there. But you can endorse him today because you have no integrity.
Why'd you do it?
Because clearly, to me, clearly, I don't know why I'd be trying to be so nice to these fucking people like I know them. She clearly thinks he's gonna win, and she thinks it's more to her advantage to align herself with power. Like, let me be seen as endorsing him and hope that she gets something on the back end. And that is some raggedy shit. Like that's some raggedy shit. Like that, it's one thing to think that maybe it's not politically viable to be associated with the left, like, in an explicit way or whatever, but still have a progressive platform, but still have one that like exudes leftist values. It's an entirely other thing to show that you are power first, looking for the self first. Let me align my, like, really, ma'am? You're gonna endorse Andrew Cuomo after saying, like, you let us know those things, and so none of that matters. What changed? What changed from that statement to now? I can't respect that. I saw that and I said, you're so lucky that I don't use Twitter like that. No, man, I'm not gonna go on Twitter.
There's so many people like that where it's just like, you believe in nothing. Yeah. Outside of, you just want to be in proximity to power. That's it. Like that's your morals.
1000%. Just like however I can get something or get an opportunity, and I just can't jive with that. I just don't get it. I don't really relate to it. It's just like, I just don't get it. It's like I've had people say to me, oh, wouldn't you rather like try to like work with Eric Adams? Like, what if y'all got a friendship? And I'm like, are you fucking listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth? Like, are you not hearing what the fucking problem is? Like, are you missing it? Like, what aren't you getting? And I realize it's like, there's so many people care about opportunity first. They care about opportunity. That's what they care about. Like, as long as I'm good, I don't really care about the larger apparatus. And that's really unfortunate. It's a damn shame. I try my best to, like, I be trying so hard to give people grace. Let me don't say anything about this part. Let me don't go out of my way. Let me just try and support who I want to support. Say something about who's totally egregious and kind of let everybody else chill. And then they do things like this, and I'm like, could you not? Like, could you not? And it's so crazy because I'm like, she's not even a contender in the race for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was never, she was never going to be mayor. That was never going to be the case. So you going out of your way to create. What do you think you're going to gain, you could potentially gain in the short term from Andrew Cuomo that will make up for what you lose in political, like, in what you're doing here to your, you know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, historically, they're just going to fuck you, right? And we can look at an example of very recent history. Who was our last president, guys? Joe Biden. What happened when Joe Biden needed every single motherfucker to drop out of the primary? Started with Andrew Yang. He says, oh, I got a call from Joe Biden, and it seems like he has an offer on the table. This dude is so gullible and dumb. I'm sorry, Andrew Yang. You're so gullible and dumb. You actually went on air and said you thought he might offer you the vice presidency. Okay? That was what it was rumored. That's what he was speculating. He was like, it could have been anything, including the vice president, was I believe the way that shook out. And everybody was like, you're freaking crazy, dude. You're on drugs if you thought that Joe Biden was ever going to offer you anything. Same thing goes with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren did not endorse Bernie Sanders. She stayed in to come in third place in her home state. I know Elizabeth Warren's done a lot of good stuff. Hats off for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That was a bad political move. She thought that Joe freaking Biden, okay, was going to make her the fucking Secretary of Commerce or the fucking, something crazy in his cabinet. It was just not going to happen, right? Secretary of Treasury, not going to happen, right? She was holding out for something with teeth, and he was never going to give it to her, but he dangled out the carrot on a stick. Pete Buttigieg probably played hardball, and he still got stuck with his transportation secretary. You know what I mean? So that's what happens when you fall in line, right? You're most, like 99 times out of 100, they just fuck you over. And Andrew Cuomo is hella the kind of guy that's just going to fuck you over. And he did it immediately. He went in front of a bunch of cameras and said, Jessica Ramos endorsed me. I do not endorse her. Like, I don't trust her judgment at all, but she does want to come out here and kiss the ring.
Right. He made her, like, you look like a jackass on every front immediately. I really try to give people I try to give everybody grace these days. Honestly, I swear to God, I really try to give everybody so much grace. Especially when people are on, they're on a public stage and everybody is, critiquing what we can see, but there's a lot that we can't see. Especially when I know people, like, politicians are playing an entirely different game from us. Like, they can't, they have to do different things. They're navigating different things. They're not, I try not to come in with my immediate, a bitch who could say what she wants. I work with no one. I buy my, you know what I mean? And come with that energy when people are trying to get things done. But God damn it. I am like, I could see if she was falling in line, if somebody else, anybody else in the race, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like anybody else, but Cuomo and these kinds of characters are corrupt figures. You know what I mean? I could even understand more like, Elizabeth and all of them thinking you got to lay down whatever to this like larger Democratic apparatus. But if everybody in the race, like everybody is endorsing Zoran, if everybody got their mind right and just did that, if you had the good sense, you endorse Zoran, everybody endorsed Zoran and they're number one, we could really do this. But instead, there are just jackasses like this who can't even like fight. You know what I mean? They can't even be a part of the larger vision. Like you are so. I don't know. I think it's so annoying. I just think it's so annoying. I saw it today, and I'm like, why do you want to give me and others no choice but to kick your back in, ma'am? Why? Why this? Just run your little campaign. You didn't even have to endorse anybody. She could have just shut the fuck up. Nobody was even talking about her. She's not even on anybody's minds. Who knew Jessica Ramos was running?
I thought the opposite of that in terms of a problem was happening to AOC, because I was really upset to just see so many people both taking credit for AOC's endorsement that came like after the debate as if they had somehow manifested it. And
bro, that was her plan all along.
I know. Yeah. I was like, this is very clearly a strategy that while there's a momentum, you help push that momentum even further, especially post a win.
I swear, I saw people like shitting on her like all last week and stuff. I can't express to you how so much of our like apparatus online is very annoying, just very incredibly annoying. I saw so many people that I know. Like,
I think it's CIA. I know that's just Alex Jones, but like sometimes I'm just genuinely, I was like, you are doing more damage to what you consider a movement than you could ever possibly imagine. Like I saw everyone sharing a video like this week of AOC saying we need to defend Israel and give them arms. And I looked up that video. That was from like 2 days after October 7th, right? And like if you go to her TikTok, the top 3 pinned videos are like This is a genocide. Stop arming Israel. Ceasefire now. Why the fuck are you sharing a 1-year-old video to make everyone suddenly think and get fooled that, oh my God, she said that we have to give arms to Israel. AOC is a genocide enabler. And then they're all losing their shit and they're typing away. I'm like, the CIA could be so lucky as to draw a
and that's
fucking
exactly what I was speaking on when I was thinking about like politicians who I know are navigating different, you know what I mean, different things from us and how people jump out. Because I was thinking about that last week. I saw people jumping out to say, oh, you know, AOC is showing the fact that she's not endorsing Zoran. She's shown this before that she doesn't, you know, really support the XYZ, all this, like, throwing all the dirt in the world on AOC's name. And I'd be like, people don't stop to think. I really think that's really what it is. As somebody who is known for, a lot of my platform is there because of New York City politics, and they know and want to hear from New York City politics from me. And I can tell you that the interest level on that election has been to the ground. And every Olurinnati production that I put out this year has done more than 100,000 views easy, except my fucking Cuomo 150. You know what I mean? Like, because the interest isn't fucking there. There is no benefit. I've seen people like, yo, you want me to go do it? There's no benefit to talking about it before anybody gives a shit. If she had endorsed him last week, a week before, a month ago, or whenever you thought she should have immediately jumped out Zoran, no one would know. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't care. It made sense that they only just started giving a fuck about this election after the debate. That's when they started giving a shit. That's when it makes sense. There's a reason why I interviewed Brad and Zoran weeks ago. But I'm putting out my video fucking next week when I know you'll give a fuck. You know, and when you're interested, when people are now starting to say, oh, right, there's an election. Who should I vote for? What's going on? Like, fill me in now. But people have this thing where it's constantly just a pissing match of, like, a virtue signaling contest. Like, you got to do it. I realize it now. We found this great progressive, which he is. He's amazing. Like, Zoran is amazing. We found him. You should be jumping out to let me know, you know, that you support him so I won't mark you bad on your leftist test, you know what I mean? As opposed to, has it ever occurred to you that she's a fucking politician and there has to be some kind of strategy? Like, I understand everybody needs criticism. You should be criticizing your politicians. You should be critiquing them. You should be analyzing them. Yeah, absolutely. You know? I get it. But the way sometimes it's just you're going into it looking for, like, they don't stop to think, can anything else be happening here?
Criticize the things she does.
Yeah.
If she doesn't vote on a bill or passes something or refuses to talk about something, criticize her on that. Don't bring up a year-old video and set a brand new narrative that's going to make a lot of people be like, oh, fuck, I hate AOC now. Like, who does this benefit? Honestly.
That's the point, though, right? Is that it's the people that are, and this is something that it took me a while to realize. I'll go ahead and show my ass a little bit, right? Because there was a time when I was extremely fucking angry at the Democratic Party. And I was like, I've watched all this corruption and there's so much Wall Street capital and they just rigged it against Bernie Sanders and they rigged it against Bernie Sanders. Like, fuck all of this, right? This is such an obvious scam, right? And there are people out there who, like, that's the end of the road for them, right? So all they want to do is convince people that the Democratic Party is a scam. They don't want to do the hard work of changing it. And they'll be like, oh, well, we can't change it. It's like, yes, that is our option. You either sit on the fucking sidelines or you change it. Like, I'm sorry. I hate it too. Trust me, I fucking hate it. I beat my head on the fucking table. I hated it so bad. But that's what you have to do, right? And so now there's this giant apparatus of disenfranchised, pissed off, tantrum throwing children. And all they want to fucking do is denigrate the left. Oh, AOC runs against Chuck Schumer. I'm going to dedicate my life to making sure she loses. Like, oh, AOC's an op, bro. Like, don't you know she wore a dress to the fucking Met Gala?
Their politic is hating the Democrats. It is. Yes. Like, it is. It's been a large thing for a minute. We do not want to acknowledge how fucking big and annoying it is. But I get it. I think for me, with my frustration with a lot of this, like, a lot of people, not just these people who are like banging on, you know, the Democrats and the left and all of them are, but you would be better served. There is something to being annoying. There's something to the approach being annoying and how you message people. You would be better served simply making content, finding impressive, persuasive ways, new, catchy, interesting ways to teach people about the issues you care about. Because if you simply actually just taught people about the things that you think and believe, what would happen is they would come to feel how you feel about the things that you don't think align with that. You spending all day banging on the Democrats, like, because the Democrats ain't the real left, go teach people some fucking leftist ideals. Like, that's the thing that I find, like, it isn't persuasive. It's not effective. That's the thing that I find annoying. If you it just so happens that if you teach people to go, embody all these different schools of thought, right? You teach people all these like leftist principles and these leftist ideals. Naturally, when they look over at the party that's allegedly supposed to represent that, and they see that they don't, because they have a real working understanding of the issues that you've now taught them and shown them, they'd be fucking annoyed by their mother. They're getting like, be pissed off on their own. But if they don't, you haven't yet truly, you just are operating as though everybody quietly, truly is on that side. Everybody gets it or whatever, and we all should fucking be mad. And you think they get it when they fucking don't? Like, it's just like, them again. Like, them talking shit. Like, that's what it is. I just wish a lot of these like people and their platforms and their channels and all these different things, I just wish when I clicked on it, it was like what I would see was videos about what it is that you care about, the issue that you feel, like the issue that matters to you. What do you think it is? What do you think is the problem? How do I educate? But it's just a bunch of angry people mad that their parties don't represent their issues.
Yeah, you want them to define what they love instead of just defining themselves by what they hate.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes, Lance. Yeah. That's exactly it. That's exactly what it is. And to that vein, that credit, I've decided like how I want to go forward with Olurinnati politics. I want to put my New York City mayoral video or whatever and get that out the way for next week. But then after that, I want to adjust. I want to focus that platform pretty much on like immigration and like the criminal system and that kind of like political apparatus for the rest, because it's just not what people are talking about. They just aren't talking about it. They don't care about that. I don't feel like I see the commentary and the focus on that I want to see and the education on that. I am watching what is happening with immigration and how that's affecting the lives of immigrants like myself. Shoot, to what you were saying earlier, Zach, about the ban on Haiti. Rebecca just had a shit ton of her family lose their ability to come here, to leave, to get their immigration interviews canceled. You know what I mean? Like
and Haiti's fucking like, I mean, I'm sorry, like I don't know how to put this delicately. The United States is really responsible for how horrible things are, but like from my understanding, it's very difficult to live in Haiti. Like if you don't have good connections there, and maybe your family's lived in America for a long time and you get sent back, like it could be a very dangerous situation for you. Like we're talking about people like, going somewhere where they could be harmed.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what that's pretty much what I've decided to do. I think I had to take some time this year to figure out like how you do things. Because also it's just not to be an immigrant, to literally be an immigrant and try to advocate around anything politically right now, especially as far as where immigration is concerned, is quite literally a dangerous move. So that's been something that I had to like think about, actively figure out, like take seriously. So I've been trying to figure out what I do, what I want to do, how I want to do these things, and what's the approach, because trying to figure out what's effective, like what people are interested in and how to do this, because you want to actually educate people, you want people to learn about these things. You want to figure out like how to meet them. And if people are not responding to things in this one way, it's like I got to figure out a different way to reach them. And that's basically what I spent this year. Like I have Olurinnati Politics is my only channel that I haven't like been put any content out on this year, because I've been trying to be thoughtful about it. Like let me figure out, like I want an actual like agenda for the year, because I feel to speak to the earlier, like the flood the zone, I feel overwhelmed by the feeling of feeling like you're supposed, especially when Twitter is a landscape, especially when you came from Twitter, is a landscape that makes you feel like you have to comment on every fucking thing. You have to have a take on everything. You have to comment on everything. And that is that is so overwhelming, and it makes you not do anything. And with the state of this regime and the flooding the zone, that's not something that can be done. So I've basically just been like, let me stop, pause, and try to figure out, like me sit down and actually plan what we're going to do this year as far as political advocacy. And that's pretty much what I've decided. Like I'm going to handle like this New York City, like mayoral election, but then I'm switching to immigration and criminal justice, like in local efforts and stuff around the country. That's what I want to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's smart. It also is fucking insane, right? That the fact that in America in 2025, you as a lawyer, a jurist, doctor, somebody that practices law in this country, that's smarter than me and my co-host combined. Sorry, Gavin, but like it's absolutely fucking nuts, right? Like it's offensive and it is wrong, and like you're taking it on the chin, but it's really, I mean, it is a sign of the times that we're all fucked like right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like obviously I sit here, an American citizen with a passport, so I've got the most rope, the most runway to go with. I have that, but to me, like, it's fucking appalling. And I try and like talk to my old man about this, because he's like a blue collar guy, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love my dad. Like,
I love that you call your daddy your old man.
Like, yeah, he is. Like, you know what I mean? And he was in the military, and he's like, we're a warring nation, son. What the fuck do we do? We go to war. That's what he tells me all the time. I'll bring up all the shit, and he'll be like, Zach, what the fuck do we do? We go to war. And I'm like, that's so true. Like, how do you argue with that? Like, that is 100% what this country is. But he doesn't believe in the government. He doesn't believe anybody's going to ever give him a, like, you know what I mean? Like, standard working class American shit.
Y'all be such a good cartoon dynamic. I hate to derail you, but like in the spirit of F is for Family Guy, like what your dad's personality is contrasted with what you are, what you do, would be such a top tier adult cartoon. I would love it.
And he's a really good guy. He listens to our show every single day, even though he probably doesn't agree with like 99% of shit that comes out of our mouth and all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? But even he would never fucking accept this. And when I talk to him about it, he's appalled by it. He, like, to him, one of the fundamental pillars, and it's funny because he talks to me about one of his Haitian homies at work. We were just talking about it in his group chat that we have with family, right? And it's like, is this guy going to be okay? And my dad's like, I believe he's allowed to work here legally in this country, so he should be. I'm like, we don't know that means, like, you know, all these things. But it's like the fact that this is on the table, it's like really concerning even to him. So I feel like I have to believe deep down that somewhere in the fabric of this country that people are pissed off, that people are fucking angry, and that it will lead to some sort of a reverberation where we're able to restore the fucking rights of this country, the Constitution, and remind everybody that this is about being a nation of immigrants. Like, we're all fucking immigrants, right? It doesn't matter how far back your family fucking goes. Sorry, Lance, I guess you're Canadian, so you're not really an American immigrant. But you know what I mean? Like,
one half of my family is indigenous, so that side of the family actually goes all the way back to, you know, before pre-colony.
Did I tell you, I told CJ that the other day, and he was like, so, because I was talking about you, and I said your age, and he was like, Lance? I was like, no, Lance is the best aging white man. I was like, Lance is half indigenous. And he was like, what? And I was like, yes. Bro. He was so doubly shocked at that. I was like, I know, I love this.
When I first came across Lance's content, when I was doing this like full time with Gavin for the first time, and I started really watching it regularly, I just assumed that you were the same age as us, which was 22 at that time. I just thought you were the same age as us. I was like, wow, this dude, it's like, how is this? He knows, he's done all this. He's been at this for years, it seems like. How the hell? This guy's been doing this since high school, probably. Like, we were just like, what the hell's going on?
Lance has the Drew Barrymore effect. Like, outside of, you just exclude that time she was like doing weird stuff about the strike, exclude that from her record. Before that, she was a completely unproblematic white lady, and she aged well to show for it. Like a very nice white lady. And I put that's the cap of how Lance ages. I'm like, I've always like love for people to find out. I'm like, yes, Lance is beautiful.
I was gonna say I give her some respect just for marrying Tom Green. I don't know anything else about her, but that was enough for me. I was like, she married Tom Green.
Dude, I love a celebrity marriage. That was like what, 30 minutes?
Relationship with Justin Long, and I was really, they were dating. Y'all. The random things I know. They dated for like 10 years or something. They even had like a little like movie company together. They had that, you know, they had that movie, what was it, like Going the Distance? They like produced that together. But they're like 10 years on and off, whatever. I think they're gonna work. And then suddenly they broke up, and like 2 seconds later, he was like married and have a baby with someone else. I was like, I felt like the shit hit me. I was like, oh my God. I felt like I to this day, I feel like they didn't give me no closure. Like, what? I just knew y'all were endgame. What are we doing here? I loved them together.
If they can't make it, who can?
I'm telling you, I was shocked. Those are the random couple breakups. Like, it's funny, like the kind of celebrity breakups that shocked me. Like when John Mulaney and his wife broke up, I was like, what?
This is the Mac versus PC guy, Justin Long. What happened to him?
He was in Barbarian, right?
He do things. I think. Let me see. Let me go to Justin Long. He aged well too.
Yeah, he was.
He's a well-aging white man too.
He's got a weird face though. I can never see him like not Tuskified. He was the guy in Tusk,
right?
He
has a weird face. Y'all don't think Justin Long is a cutie?
I would pass. I would swipe left.
Really?
100%. 10 out of 10 times.
Y'all didn't watch Jeepers Creepers?
Never saw Jeepers Creepers. Maybe
okay,
he
that's
would
what's
put the
wrong
moves
here.
on.
You didn't watch Jeepers Creepers, Lance?
I don't remember, but I know
then
I watched
y'all obviously have my man fucked up. It's inappropriate for y'all to weigh in when y'all have obviously not watched his entire very cute era. I'm gonna need for y'all to go watch Jeepers Creepers, or at least y'all gotta go watch some of Justin Long's greatest hits. I hate to be a random Justin Long stan, but
I like that there's a stand for a guy like Justin Long, because I'm like, wow,
that's true,
if Justin Long has a stand, maybe there's one for me out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love Justin Long. He's so likable. He's a likable, unproblematic white guy. Like, look at Justin. He's so nice. He's good. I love a good casual. Like, I like the
The bar is
the
really
white guys
low
that
for
are
us.
just nice
Just
and
don't
stay out the
do.
way. Like, who's ever had anything bad to say about Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Like, I like them. Like,
I do like Joseph
oh,
Gordon-Levitt.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
I thought you were, when
I'll give
you
that.
opened your eyes, I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna tell me something bad. I was like, oh
No.
no. That's like when I found out Vince Vaughn was a MAGA guy.
Oh, he's a hardcore
Yeah, he's
Republican.
mega,
Yeah.
yeah.
My mommy, honestly, like I feel like there are, I feel like all like black people have a bunch of like white people that they like for whatever random reason, like white stars, and you get them like approved.
Vince
because-
Vaughn was in there. He
my
sucks.
my mummy, that's what I was gonna say. My mother, I realize now, like as an adult, all the like white people that were like grandfathered into us liking because my mummy liked them, like, and you assume like, okay, they're good, they're vetted, not vetted at all. In fact, like everybody my mummy liked has turned out to be fucking problematic. Like, sure, my mummy and my auntie loved Vince Vaughn. Problematic as fuck. My mummy and my auntie loved Matthew McConaughey. I've got my eyes on him. Something right there. Like
What did he do?
Matthew McConaughey
Bro,
is
you
a
remember
little,
when he was gonna run for governor?
he's a little weird. He's a little right wing,
Yeah, that's-
Texany
oh,
adjacent. He have a weird little. He's
What if
somehow
we-
Matthew McConaughey not right. Just remember I said this. Handsome man.
What if we,
Something like that.
you know, what if we love one another? What if we believed in good things and we opposed bad things? What if we dreamed a little bit different? What if we held each other's hand? What if we opened the door for one another? Things could be different, couldn't they? I'm ready to believe in that. Are you ready to believe in that? Because let me tell you what, brothers and sisters, this is America, and I love it. All right.
That is how Matthew McConaughey is, real life. Like Matthew McConaughey be on some Texan slick right wing shit. He want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger real bad. Just watch him, okay? Like
He already
So-
tried. Gavin and I covered it on the show in depth, okay? Because I'll give you guys a brief snippet. One time, Gavin and I thought we were going to be famous because these producers hit us up and they were like, "We really like your dynamic," and I was like, "Please give us a cooking show." And we were on the phone with them and they were like driving around in a
Are you
Jeep.
serious? You guys wanted to do a cooking
I
show?
wanted to do a cooking show so fucking badly, you have no idea, but that's such an aside. So this guy's on the fucking phone with me in a Jeep in Hawaii, and he's like telling me all about Matthew McConaughey and a bunch of this stupid shit, and then like a few months later, Matthew McConaughey crosses my radar again. Those people never contacted us. They didn't give us a dime. And he's like launching this bid for governor of Texas where he barely fucking lives. And so we're watching all these TikToks and he's going all around and he is a disaster of a politician. As good of an actor as he is, and I think he's a damn good actor, dog
He is.
shit politician.
he really is. Dallas Cowboys go crazy,
Bro.
He's amazing. Yeah,
Who are the other problematic white people that black people hold on high esteem?
Or no. My mummy picks bad problematic
Oh,
white
this is
people.
specifically your mother.
I pick
Okay.
good white people. I like Drew Barrymore. I like. I just told you I like Justin Long. What other white people do I really like? Like, do I like to see in something? I see them and I'm like, oh yeah, let me turn that on. You know who turned out to be problematic? Who I really like, and I think
Did you just
I
say
really
Drew
like.
Barrymore unproblematic?
Fuck you, Aaron. We'll fight. Aaron, I said outside of that strike thing or whatever. That one time you leave. I said before that. I said outside of that. I love Drew Barrymore, and she's been through a lot.
Yeah, you were canceling someone else before. Who's the problematic white guy?
Problematic. What? Let me.
You were just saying like I love this guy for a long time, and then it turned
Oh,
out.
who I was about to say no. That I realize is like problematic to people that I like. They're not white, but they're not black. They're Gina. Was it Gina Rodriguez? Like my girl Jane from Jane the Virgin.
Oh, is
Yeah.
she shitty?
She said the N-word one time. Like she missed the memo. Like, you know how there used to be a time when black people were letting Latino people say the N-word unchecked.
The Fat
whatever.
Joe
It
period.
It happened for generations, and so now
I
like
was thinking Asian people were doing it too, but they just assumed it was okay.
it's taking Latino people a while to like get with the memo that you can't do it anymore. And she wasn't her. And so she was like it's so funny because it's so funny how she got herself canceled or got in trouble for this, like why black people on the internet don't like her, because she so obviously just didn't get the memo because she shared it herself. Like she was listening to like she was listening to what you call it, the Fugees, and she was like on a story, she was like, these give me heebie-jeebies. And then it was like, excuse me. And then the other thing they didn't like that she did, but I'm like, I'm not mad at her. Some girl like tweeted at her, asking her to pay for her college tuition. And she was like, let's Google some scholarships. Let's get, you know what I mean? Let's do some research, mama. And everybody was so mad at her. And I was like, you wanted to do pay this lady's tuition? I'm like, how much money I'm like, y'all be assuming celebrities, especially actors, are like rich as fuck for real. Like, please. But yeah, that's why the people don't like her. But I love her in everything that she's in. I'm trying to think. Is there anyone? Who else do I like? No, I really have a love for Drew Barrymore. That's really my baby. I think.
What era Drew Barrymore speaks to you specifically? Is it like the Wedding Singer
It's gotta be the
era,
Adam
50
Sandler
First
era, I bet you.
Dates, or are we talking like, oh, I'm really into E.T. and that was my childhood?
It's so funny. Y'all thought
that's
y'all
deep
knew me,
cut.
Charlie's Angels, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But also,
was really-
like, I've loved Drew Barrymore since riding in cars with boys. Like, I love Drew Barrymore after. Drew Barrymore had a tough life. My girl had I love Hillary Duff. White people I love. I love Hillary Duff.
I do not share that. Yeah.
Hey, shout out
What's
to
your
my
problem with
older
Hillary Duff?
sister. I watched a lot of the Lizzie McGuire show.
What's your problem with Hillary Duff?
I have absolutely no beef with Hillary
Just
Duff.
no special. Have you seen Hillary Duff in 2025? Because my
No.
girl's a bad bitch. You need to go look at her. Hey, Hillary Duff has aged amazingly. That's a real baddie. Have you go watch Younger, the TV show Younger? I bet you like you some Hillary Duff. Okay, Hillary Duff is very fly. I mean, big fan of Hillary Duff. Yeah.
I saw a video
Okay.
of her the other day chasing off paparazzi. She was at like her children's sporting event and they came up to her and she went like full mama bear. She was like, do not fucking record my children. Like, get the hell out of here, and to like chase them off. I was like, all right.
I support that. I love
Hillary
my
Duff
girl.
is still out in the wild.
Yeah, she is. She's a baddie. Okay, true. I love her. Who else? Who else is good? I like. Are they coming to me? Who are your favorite? Who are your favorite black celebrities?
I was like, I like how we got brought on here to talk about Trump and Elon, and now we're just like categorizing who are unproblematic white people. And then we're
Yeah, with the tier
Kirsten
list,
Dunst.
you know?
I like Kirsten Dunst. I think she's becoming an unproblematic white lady.
if you want to ask about black celebrities, I had the same thing the opposite direction. My hero for the longest time, my inspiration, was Dave Chappelle. I worship that man. I like not only his TV show, but well before that, I like, you know, his stand-up specials. Like, he's the one who got me into Def Comedy Jam, and like I honestly everything about him, I thought he was the funniest human being that could ever walk the planet. And that was one of those moments where like he just broke my heart 6 times in a row with each new Netflix special that came out in the modern era. I was like, why are you doubling down on this? Why are you tripling down on this? It's such a gross look. You're so much smarter. I still think he's a genius, but it's just one of those things where I was just like, why?
Yeah, I think it's a generational thing, not to excuse any of his bad behavior, but I really do think, like, because I even have, like, people that I know deep down are good people, and you have to, like, fucking really walk them through that issue. I think it's a hang-up for men who are, like, 45 to 55 years old, where they just have so much masculine propaganda, and they see the world changing so much, and they're just like, I need to pump the brakes on it a little bit. And I'm not saying that it's justification for anything, but it's almost like that one little crack on a guy like Dave Chappelle, like, because of the way that he's wired and because he's such a genius and because he's so, like, proud and unabashed in his comedic takes, he was like, you can't tell me not to make jokes about this. And then it became the only fucking thing that this guy wanted to write jokes about, and they just got flatter and meaner and just lower hanging fruit. And it was just, like, embarrassing for a guy who had such clout and could, like, stand so tall to, like, stoop so low. You know what I mean? But I really do think it, because it's such a fucking issue with people that I like that are of that generation. It's like they'll be like 10, like they'll be just like across the board leftists, like 10 out of 10 leftists, except for this one issue where they're like, I don't talk about it because I don't want to get harangued online, but deep down I'm sus about this. And I'm like, why are you sus about this? Like,
Yeah,
what the
I find
hell?
people in my comment section for that all the time. Like, all the time. They be like, oh, I read everything about the transit. Blog, had user from China. You're done here. Go away.
Okay, for non-problematic, I would say Donald Glover, and that's not just for like.
You think Donald Glover is not problematic because you're white? It's so funny. I love the like the cross of like what we don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
All right, okay. Well, let me
you
preface
can have
this.
him. I like Donald Glover. You can like Donald Glover. Like,
Wait,
you
do you
know,
like him because of community, or do you like him because of the internet?
or his music.
I like this is not even the fact, like, if you were to ask me just like celebrity in general, like, it doesn't have to specifically be black celebrity. I don't really know anyone who does it like him, in that, like, I've seen his stand-up, it's unreal. I've seen his writing for television, it's unreal. His music is unreal. His acting is unreal. And Atlanta's like one of my favorite shows. Like,
But
I think the guy.
the question is, do you like Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
All of it. Yeah, I thought it was okay.
I hated it with my whole chest.
Okay, yeah, I was not just. I was
they
kind of just
remake
like
the Brad
it was
Pitt,
one of those
Angelina
shows in the
Jolie one?
background while you clean, kind of thing, right?
You
Like,
didn't
I wasn't.
know Donald Glover made like a show version, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, with him and
No,
this Asian
I don't.
lady.
I'm
I hate
like
it.
a boomer. I don't watch enough television. You know what I mean?
I
I
hated
could
it so
hang when it
bad.
was like stuff that came out in 2000, but now it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I like Donald. I like Donald Glover. People have a lot of critiques for like Donald Glover having a blind spot when it comes to black women. That he has some like issues, some unresolved issues about black women, and he doesn't portray them the best, you know, and different things like that. So they have critiques for Donald Glover, but
And
I
also that
do
he
agree with everything.
fetishizes Asian women.
All that's tea, and it's big true, and it's big true. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is such a fucking garbage show with so many obvious issues. Like it's. The entire premise, I'm like, am I supposed to? Anyway, let me don't even get started because let me don't get started. Going on why Mr. and Mrs. Smith is trash. But I do really like Donald Glover. I think that's a good one. What about you, Zach? Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite black celebrity?
Fuck, right? Like, it might even sound like really lame if I just like pick all my favorite like black rappers, like 90. Okay,
No, you
because
can like them.
I mean, like that would be like my biggest inspirations from like I came to this as a writer, right? And I really value the like lyrical nature of prose writing, and so I'm really big into all of that. And so from like obviously I'm a huge Kendrick fan, like that kind of goes without saying, but I love like Andre 3000. I think Notorious B.I.G. paved the way for what Eminem went on to get a lot of credit for, and I have a lot of love for the two first Eminem records, but I think that when you really see that narrative element come into hip-hop, where it was like he like Give Me the Loot is like my favorite hip-hop song ever, because I think the way that he dynamically plays multiple people, like I remember being a teenager and finding out that dude was doing all of the parts, like I thought they were features on Give Me the Loot, like he's doing all of it at once, like and how that was so early on, like 1994. So I think back about that would be, you know, like one of my favorite records of all time.
I love Biggie too.
So yeah, and I never like, not like in a weird sense, like I love the political messaging of Tupac, but like if I had to pick, like not to pit them against each other, but I always fell on the Biggie side, even though I think he's a way worse person. I think he's a way worse guy. 10 out of 10 would rather hang out with Tupac, but I think that Biggie just had that one album in him that was just so good, and the fact that
I completely agree.
And it was so. I mean, he's dead and has been for like 25 years, so that's kind of a cop-out answer. But it is kind of weird to sit here.
I'm the only talk over Biggie guy on the panel, then I guess.
And hey, I get it, dude. I totally get it.
This is my Biggie and my Tupac Funko Pops.
Oh,
My sister sent them to me the other day.
That's super cute.
Me and my sister have a Funko Pop like war thing we do. Like we send them back and forth to each other in rounds to see who wins on like knowing each other the best on who's beating her. She sent me Susie Carmichael yesterday. Like,
Wow,
Susie Carmichael, but I sent her Cosmo from Cosmo and Wanda, like the Fairly Odd Parents, and got a Wanda today. I keep beating her. She says I'm beating her because economically I can afford to, because I send in pairs of like when me and my sisters were kids. Every TV show, we'd be like, if there are multiple characters, you're that character, I'm that character. So I keep like sending my sisters like their character and getting my like completing the arc. So I'm like, oh, you can't beat me because I'm spending more money on this. Like I got myself like Blossom, and then I sent my little sister Bubbles. I sent my big sister Mojo Jojo, and I sent my other sister doing Buttercup all the way to the Bahamas. Like had to clear customs for it. Yeah, I love Funko Pops. It's a thing. I won the other day too because I got Dexter and I sent her Dee Dee. The Dexter Funko Pop is super fire because it literally looks just like.
That looks exactly like the cartoon. That's wild.
So fire. I love the Dexter Funko. Like, and then CJ gets me for Valentine's Day. Like, he turns me into Funko Pops.
Oh,
hair was at the time.
That's awesome.
I'm obviously a nerd. Like behind here is just a bunch of my Funko Pops. You see my I have Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh. So. Yes. Y'all have final words?
I got to throw out two more. My two other favorite rappers from like my generation that I grew up with. So when I was a kid, there was like a period of my life where I listened to Doris and I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside constantly and nothing else for like 3 straight years while I was in high school. And I was present for the entire explosion of Vince Staples. Two of my favorite.
Oh, I like Vince Staples a lot. I really like Vince Staples.
When he was getting on with the Mac Miller stuff really early in the day, and back in the day, then he was all over the Doris album with Earl Sweatshirt, and then he came out with what was it? Hell Can Wait. Was I think the name of that mixtape that he dropped, and then he was just off to the races. That dude has an incredible pen. I love his POV. He's so sharp-witted, and yeah, dude, Vince has been so fun to watch, dude. And I love his Twitter personality, dude. He's fucking hilarious. And
have you watched the show on Netflix?
I haven't watched the show because I don't watch
it's
TV. Like,
so
I need to
good. You would love it.
I know
you
I would love it.
Go watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
It's Oh, I don't know how to describe it. Honestly, go on Netflix and just watch it. It's a Vince Staples show. I promise you, y'all will love it. I feel very confident.
He's
about
hilarious.
This.
I'm so excited to watch it. I just have been putting it off forever because I feel like whenever I turn on the TV, it's just to watch like some other YouTuber talk about politics. And I'm like, fuck.
Go watch it. It's so good. I promise you this. Lance,
you like
give us...
Nas or Tribe Called Quest or Jurassic 5?
That's
awesome.
Good stuff.
I was like, are you asking me? I was like, I have no OD special affinity for them. I'm like, who is my... I'm trying to think. Do I have one more favorite white person I want to shout out before I go? Who do I like? Like, who else? Who do I like?
Who is your favorite white person? Last white person.
I'm like, is there one from like the present day? Is there like a new white person that I? Oh, I like Renee Rapp.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Okay, see, she knew. She is a star in the Mean Girls musical that came out. I didn't watch it. She was a star in Sex Lives of College Girls. Really fine white girl lesbian. She looked real good. Like, look her up. I like her. She's a baddie. I was
waiting for it to be me, but you know it's fine.
Aaron, tell us your favorite black people and your favorite white people.
I don't really follow celebrities, so everybody that I like or would name is somebody who's a YouTuber or is online. And honestly, Jarvis Johnson.
I knew you were going to say Jarvis. I knew you were about to say Jarvis. I said watch him. The minute you said YouTube, I said Jarvis.
yeah, that and oh my god, there was this one who I subscribed to. I sent you his one video, but you didn't watch it because you hate when people have like babies have adult heads, and it was like edited like that, and you hated it.
I don't even remember that, but I love that you remembered my reason for why I have a problem with it. I was watching a YouTuber the other day, and I turned off his video because he was like outside sitting in the woods like on a piece of, and I was like, you're uncomfortable and I'm uncomfortable. Like, why are you like, this isn't cozy. Why would you be on wood? Like, all I'm thinking about, like, I'm like, you have your teleprompter outside in the woods with you. Your computer's probably dying. Like, you can't even like see the screen. You sitting on the ground. This is why I can't be a part of this. And I have arbitrary comfort reasons for why I don't like certain creators. Shit, like, I gotta turn this off. This isn't doing it for me.
Yeah, Effie Nwadiwe and Jarvis Johnson are my two favorite black creators.
I like
They're
those.
really funny.
Those are good. Of creators, what white creator? My favorite white creator. One of my
Vanguard
favorites.
podcast.
Leeja Miller is so fire. I think her content is amazing. I don't know her. Like, I've never talked to her as a creator. Have y'all seen her YouTube? Y'all don't see Leeja Miller? Zach, you don't know Leeja Miller's YouTube?
No.
I feel like that's crazy. Like, that should like go type in Aaron, send them the link right now to Leeja Miller. She is amazing. I think.
Is it leisure like leisure like leisure wear?
Leeja.
Oh, okay.
Leeja.
Yeah, see her there. She's fucking phenomenal. I don't get tired of plugging Leeja. I don't know her person. I've never spoken to her.
Oh,
I just think she's so.
I watch her shit. Yeah, no, she's great. Yeah,
she's so good. Excellent. I'm like,
no, she's good. I've actually watched a lot of her videos on stream.
Yeah, she makes fire ass content.
She gets a little libby for my tastes, but she's mostly pretty awesome.
You know, here's the thing though, like, to me, she's making the content that a lot of these people just run in their mouths and like don't make. Like, that's what I think everybody's content should like be. Informative, educational, like not a bunch of fucking, you go in there, you know, every week she decides this is what the fuck you're learning about this week. You're learning and goodbye. I don't talk to y'all. No other form of interaction. Just, this is what we're teaching you. Goodbye. And I love it.
Okay. All right. So, you know how you were asking us about this, where do you get your news? I haven't heard about this Palantir stuff. Guess what her latest video is all about?
Palantir?
So, it's all about it.
I told you, she's doing the fucking work you see my point. That's why Leeja's the truth. I'm like, no one's doing it like Leeja Miller. I don't care. She's so impressive. Every time she puts something, I'd be like, bitch, that's exactly what I would have made if I wanted to work hard this week. Thank you.
Sounds like we need to have her on, probably.
I'm like, how does one reach Leeja Miller? In my mind, like, I always feel like if somebody don't already know me, I don't really know how to like.
She's got a really small Twitter account.
Huh?
She's only got 6,000 followers. She's got a really small Twitter account. You could add her on Twitter, and she'd probably like.
Yeah,
She doesn't post anymore. She stopped posting a year
Because
ago.
it's a terrible place, and she had sense, I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
I think she has an email on her account that you can.
Yeah, there's
probably
an
reach.
email on her website.
Yeah.
I
You
need
can reach
to.
out.
I'm
Also,
like,
she's got an
honestly,
Instagram.
the Olurinnati verse needs a booker one day. That's not me or Aaron. Like someone else. Like, please reach
God,
out.
please.
Reach out to other people because we're tired. I'm like, oh, reach out to new people. What work? Like, like how much work is that? God, like I just want to know who I know. But I do think she's amazing. I plug her every chance I get. I think she's like not even just like white or black. She's a great creator. And who else? Let me see. Who else do I think it makes? I don't know if I watch white creators. Like the white creators I watch are the ones that are here, like that I know, that I talk to, like they bring around. There's not really like this like secret bag of white people that I'm like watching that I don't talk to already. It's like, you see them, y'all know which white people I watch. I bring them around. Like,